Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com. Today we're taking a closer look at Gary's 2020 RT Scatback Challenger, going over all of his mods and taking a closer look at his customer submitted photos. Now, if you want to see his full mods list and other photos like his, you want to check out the customer build profile pages on the website to get inspired of things that you can do to your own Challenger in the future. Now, before we get to it, subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all things Challenger. What do you say we connect with Gary? Hey Gary, how's it going, man?
Good, how you doing?
Great, man. Let's jump right into it, shall we? So you have a 2020 Challenger RT Scat Pack. The first question I like to ask people is, out of all of the cars on the road, how'd you land on the car that you have now?
Actually, I worked for Chrysler for about 18 years. So 2008, Chrysler wasn't doing so hot. So I ended up taking the corporate buyout, a $25,000 vehicle voucher, and bought a 2009 Challenger RT. I drove it maybe a half a dozen times and then ended up selling the vehicle just to survive at that time. 13 years later, here I am with a 2020 Scat Pack.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to kind of get your dream ending. I'm sure it's very different than the 70s Mustangs that you were used to back in the day. So the first thing I want to jump into with your mods list here is your cold air intake. You picked up the Air-Aid cold air dam intake with the red Synthemax dry filter. So how did you land on that particular one for your Challenger?
Just doing a little bit of research out here in Arizona, it is so dusty constantly. I wanted something dry, something that was going to hold up out here and not get clogged up every 2 weeks. So I went back to my favorite place, American Muscle, and lo and behold, I put the order in.
The type of filter that you get can really make it or break it when it comes to where you live. I feel like that's one point that I just don't hear from people a lot, and I'm glad that you said that because I think that's something a lot of people at home would be really interested to hear about. When you installed that, did you feel a difference, if at all?
I actually did feel a little bit different, but I actually installed it after the exhaust was done. And yeah, there's definitely a difference. The sound is amazing. So.
Everybody always talks about that suction sound. It's you can really feel like the engine's breathing a little bit better. You feel like you notice an engine sound change?
Actually, yes. In fact, I get that little whistle sound like there's actually a Pro Charger.
But that's not the only thing you got going on. So you didn't stop at the intake. So another thing that catches my eye, you have the VZ style front chin splitter, but yours isn't the regular chin splitter. You have the gloss carbon fiber. How are you feeling about that chin spoiler? Did you put it on yourself?
Yeah, I did. I did the install myself. It's probably the best looking mod that I have on the vehicle. I mean, it just changed the whole front end. I'm old school, so I like the old school look, and that's what I was trying to gain with that. So.
And I think that really comes across in the whole build as a whole. Looking at your wheels here, I can appreciate what you're trying to do there, and I think it really comes through as like an old school classic muscle car. So you have the Nitto 555 G2s. Now you have 275 40 20s in the front and 315s in the back. Now that's a fat tire in the back.
It's got some meat. In fact, even when I put the 315s on, I had to do a lot of research for the offset for the rims and everything, because I wanted it just to stick out just a little bit. I didn't want it inside the quarter panel. So even after installing them, I ended up adding a 1/2-inch spacer just to bring them out a little bit.
Without the wheel spacer, did you have any trouble with fitment getting the 315s in there, or was it a really comfortable installation?
No, I didn't have any trouble, but man, I was sweating bullets because I figured I'm gonna have to start hacking out some of the splash field. But no, I installed them, took it around the block a half dozen times and came back, put it on the jack stand, and no rubbing.
That's awesome. That's what you like to hear. Now, aside from that, you have a couple of other aesthetics going on. Rear window louvers, another classic muscle car appearance mod. Throwback to the 60s and 70s muscle cars. I'm thinking Mach 1 and things like that. I'm assuming that's what you had in mind when you were picking up the louvers?
Yeah, funny story. So I ordered the first set for you guys, installed them. A day or two after, I decided I'm gonna get the car wash. So I went through one of these touchless car washes. Everything was great until I hit the blowers. So all I remember seeing in my rearview mirror was the louvers lifting up and doing a tumble. So I actually lost the first set, had to reorder another set. I got them on there pretty good now. I've been through quite a few car washes.
I stress every time, adhesion promoter, clean your windshield. If the dirt particles are on that windshield and you put the 3M on, man, that thing's coming right off.
Yeah, I should have watched the video.
yeah. Have you thought about picking up the quarter window louvers or quarter window scoops to kind of match that rear?
No, I've seen them on a couple of vehicles my color, and it doesn't do anything for me, which the site, your guys' site, is awesome for that, because I went actually to the color of my vehicle and then I looked at the different mods. And then I knew right there, no, I really don't like that, but hey, I like this. And that's the path I was taking.
That's good to hear. I'm glad that resonates with you. And what about the future? Let's talk about future mods. You got any plans for this thing?
If I happen to win the lottery, it's going to be definitely a Pro Charger, wide body kit, maybe throw in like a 85 millimeter throttle body.
That's awesome. I feel like very seldom do we get people on here who are happy with a stock purchase. Dodge had a vision. They really spent time engineering that car, and that Scat Pack I think was put together really, really well. And I think, you know, being a Chrysler guy yourself for so many, I think you said 18 years, I'm sure you have a deeper appreciation for the way things operate there. With that said, man, I appreciate you taking the time. It sounds like you got some really aspirational plans coming in the future. So yeah, man, again, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate you carving out your schedule to talk to me.
Hey, no problem. It's great talking with you.
Well, that's gonna wrap up this one, guys. We just spoke with Gary about his 2020 Challenger RT Scat Pack. And again, if you wanna see his mods list and more of his photos and other customers like his, you wanna check out the customer build profile pages on the website. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the link below. I hope this gave you some ideas and got you inspired about things that you can do to your own Challenger in the future. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all future content like this, product reviews, and more. Keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.